Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're having a great time so far. Next, we will discover the reasons why the Middle East has emerged as a prime destination for businesses worldwide, and it has become a focal point to global investors. I am delighted to welcome on stage our moderator, Mr. Hussein Sayed, CFA anchor at CNBC Arabia, who will introduce the panel of MENA Mavericks, thriving in the regional brokerage landscape. Hussein, dear speakers, floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're having a great time here at IFX. If I just can know by raise of hands, who is here located in the UAE? All right, so this is like 30%. And who's coming from outside? All right, fantastic. So those who are just visiting the UAE, you can see the vibrance of this city, how busy it is. And this has been building for the past several years. And it's just an amazing place to have a business in. And this is what we're here discussing at this panel discussion. And I'm pleased to be joined by the experts in the field. So we have Damian Hitchen, he's the CEO of Saxo Bank. Anand Shankaran, he's the head of sales at NCM Investments, and Khaldun Sharai'a, CEO of ATFX. So let's keep it real, direct to the point, and I'll start with you, Damian. Saxo Bank was founded back in 1992. And I think they started operation somewhere around 2009. They started probably their first representative office, and they've grown a lot. My question to you first, having a presence in the Middle East, especially in Dubai, did it add a lot of value to Saxo Bank? How do you see it?
Thank you, Hussein. Good afternoon to delegates. Yeah, you're correct. Saxo Bank was founded just over 31 years ago. We had our 30th anniversary last year with some major milestones that maybe we'll talk about later. In terms of our MENA presence, yes, we've been here for over a decade. Has it added value to our group? It has, significantly. We have 16 offices globally. And from a client asset perspective, from a revenue perspective, the office here in Dubai is material. It's very significant in terms of our global operations, and that's growing year on year. We have, within Saxo in the region, we have two sides to our business. So we have our direct client or our private client business, which currently last year was around about the 13,000 mark. But then we have a large institutional business as well, and that's our institutional partners, who can range anything from tier one banks, tier one to international banks, who use our trading platforms, our infrastructure for execution, for custody, for routing, etc., all the way down to prop traders, fund houses, external asset managers, etc. Combined, that institutional partner segment actually has more accounts than our direct segment now. So we're growing on two different roads as such. We have a direct business, which is mainly organic growth, and we have an institutional partner business, wherein we're providing platforms and tools to our partners to trade either on behalf of their own book or on behalf of their clients. And we've seen significant growth. I would echo what you said in terms of the vibrancy and the atmosphere and the energy we're seeing in the region at present. I recently came back from Singapore in 21, back to Dubai, so post-COVID. And it's quite amazing, the energy and the number of people who are coming up here to set up businesses and make their lives here with their families. I think it's an incredible job that we've done. And I think that bodes well for all of us in the industry. I think that the next 5 to 10 years, with Saudi kicking in as well, with major growth enablers as well, I think it bodes really positively for all of us working in this industry for the next decade or so.
Awesome. I think when you just did this comparison between what's happening in Singapore and Dubai, especially after, post-COVID, I think we were living in a parallel world to the rest of the world here in Dubai. Anand, let me move to you and ask you about NCM. So you've been here in the region for a long time. You're a part of Shua Capital. Tell me, why Dubai?
Yeah. Let me introduce myself. I'm Anand. I'm in this industry last 16 years. Okay, in UAE last 1 decade. Uh, when I came on 2014, 13 last and 14, now I can see a massive development in the region. The reason, we can say many reasons. Okay, before that one, NCM is headquarters in Kuwait. It is established in 2009, and we have operations in Kuwait, Jordan, Turkey, UAE, and Malaysia. And recently we got our Cat 1 license in UAE, because it's a new revenue and it's giving lot of opportunities and explore more in the financial hub in Middle East, as well as it will connect the globe around the world.
Awesome. Khaldoon, there's a distance between us.
That's
Here.
fine, Hussein. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's totally fine. So Khaldoon, I remember you just got your license recently from ESCA.
Correct.
And probably one of the first questions that come to any broker who's trying to do a business here, which license shall I go for? ESCA, ADGM, ADSF, DIFC, or others. So tell me, Khaldoon, why have you gone for ESCA?
Well, very good question, Hussein. Basically, ESCA provides you so many things that you cannot have in DFSA or ATGM. Mainly having a bank account, for example, so clients can deposit funds in your account here in UAE. There are also other things where you can do some promotions. In DFSA, you cannot do. There are also, type of hiring that you can have. You can hire more people there. You are not obliged to be in the IFC area, so you can be anywhere you want. So basically, ESCA provides you so many facts. You can be in Abu Dhabi, you can be in Dubai, you can be in Al Ain. You can open any office anywhere. And you can open 2, 3 offices, not only one. So it makes a big difference here. So you have the whole UAE if you go to ESCA rather than the FSA or ADGM.
So, Khaldoon, I think you went for a Category 5 license.
That is correct.
And this is also a question that comes to mind for every broker that try to operate here in Dubai or the UAE. What's the difference between if you got Category 5 or Category 1? I'll come again to Anand to explain why he went to Category 1 license. So tell me your experience.
Of course.
Well, yeah.
So Category 5 basically, it provides you to open here, an office. You can do all the promotion that you need. However, you don't have a dealing desk. You are not allowed to do that. So you have to be an IB for yourself in order for you to onboard the clients outside, not only here. Category 1 license is totally different. You're only here. So you can open, you can open a bank account for the clients accounts. You can open anywhere you want at the same time. You can have a dealing desk. So you can have a full operation here in UAE. And I think Anand will agree with me on that. I think you guys, Anand, you have already Category 1, right? Yeah.
So can you elaborate more on Category 1 license?
Actually, in 2021, in 2018 even, Central Bank moved many regulations to ESCA. In 2021, ESCA introduced 5 new license categories. Okay, first one is Category 1, which is dealing in securities, and another one was dealing in investments and fund management, and the fifth one was promotional license, which is Category 5. What is the difference between all was, in the first one, you can do a trading broker in global markets and trading broker in OTC CFD also. And you can have all the settlements and segregated bank accounts inside the UAE, and you can take any retail, corporate, institutional, all the clients you can onboard in that one. This is the difference between DAFC or ADGM. In ADGM and DAFC, there are some restrictions to onboard the local retail clients from the mainland. But this ESCA category license are allowed in, you can onboard any clients in that one. The only difference was the amount wise, the Category 1 is the highest license, which required 30 million AED bank guarantee.
So Damian, given that we're talking about licensing, and you've been there before with more than one firm as well. So DFSA, you're licensed by DFSA. ESCA now?
We're actually licensed by the UAE Central Bank.
UAE Central
but I
Bank.
have run a firm previously which was in DIFC, regulated by DFSA.
Okay, so if you can take us through the difference in licensing between DFSA and the central bank now, especially with the restrictions with some licenses here.
Yeah, at Saxo we have a rep office license with the central bank, which actually they ceased issuing a few years ago. So we're still in the camp that we have a relatively old license, and that allows us to do what we need to do within our operating model, which is assist clients in opening accounts. All our clients are booked in Copenhagen in Denmark, so all of our clients are contracted offshore in Denmark, which is EU regulated and Danish regulated. But it allows us to assist clients in opening accounts. It allows us to relationship manage clients. It allows them to give them information about our platforms, how to do things. Saxo is an execution-only, self-directed platform, so we don't give advice. So that suits our operating model very much so. I previously ran a firm in the DIFC, under the DFSA, which was a booking center, and that's slightly different. Obviously, you have some of the positives in setting up in the DIFC, which is arguably the most well-known jurisdiction here now in the region, I would say, and probably with the strongest governance structure in terms of international players or international recognition. But again, it really depends to saying what your service proposition is. Because whilst the DFSA can have many advantages, it depends what your service proposition is, it depends what clients you're targeting, it depends how you want to grow your business. So for example, if we're talking about FX, CFDs, if we're talking more about the leverage and margin side of our industry, then in the DFSA and in the AGM, you have very strict controls on how much margin you can give. So if that doesn't fit your business model, then that's probably not the right place for you to set up. So it's a combination of having a look at what's the market opportunity, but I would say for existing firms, it's more about what are your target client segments, what are your personas, what are you looking to achieve, how are you looking to grow your business, and then within the UAE, because we have multiple regulatory bodies, you can actually then tailor which regulator you approach to set up, and that's based on your business plan and what you're looking to achieve.
Fantastic. And Damian, if you want to penetrate other markets from UAE, is it possible to do that?
Yes, so within our business, we cover the whole of MENA, so the MENA region. Saxo globally, like I mentioned, we have 16 offices, so we split them up into territories and areas. So depending where the client logs on from or approaches us, then we generally pass that down to the most localized office to deal with that. But from our perspective, we are fully in control of the MENA region. So again, whether it's direct clients, whether it's institutional partners, we have clients from all over the MENA region, which are relationship managed by ourselves. Again, assisting them to opening accounts in our headquarters in Denmark, but then acting here as the point of contact, as the advisor, as the relationship manager on a local basis.
Awesome. And I have a question to Khaldoon and Anand. We know that the UAE is a very competitive market in everything. And one of them is hiring. Because as we know, in this country, you have a very low unemployment rate, and there's always competition on talent. So Khaldoon, let me start with you. And since you were on a hiring spree over the last 1 year, how challenging was it? And how do you get the talent?
Yeah, I'll share the secret how to get the talent. It is challenging, Hussein. It's very challenging, actually. As you said, the employment rate is very close to zero. And in order for us to be able to find the right people as well, and you need to have the right culture as well, it's not easy. And sales here, let's say, probably Anand will share that as well, or employees in general. Most of the time they are okay, but they're looking for the manager. They want the leadership. They're not looking just, a broker that is, you can find them everywhere and very big, easy to get clients. No, they want a challenge. They want leadership. They want to grow. And this is what you need to provide to them. And how to find those employees, you have two scenarios. You either find the people that you already know in the market, so they trust you, so they can join you, or otherwise you have to try to educate them. So probably you can get to 22, 24 years old, try to educate them so they can understand. And I think Saxo is doing very good with this since more than 20, 30 years, where they get an employee and they try to educate them. And another broker as well that has, in the market more than 30 years. But let's say ATFX being regulated for 6 months here in the region, definitely it is more relationship, it is more people that we've worked with, we know, or otherwise we try to educate them and push them in order, for, we show them the career path. That's the most important thing for them. They want to feel secured. They want to feel that they can grow, they're happy. You need to mix the right culture as well all together for you to be able to handle any clients that you have.
Yeah, and let's go to Anand since he's focused on sales. And in any firm, usually sales, we have a very high turnover. Can you keep your employees?
Okay. Actually, there is the biggest challenge for the sales in this broking industry was between regulated and non-regulated. Okay. In regulated space, there are many brokerage firms hands are tied. It's not like they cannot compete with non-regulated space in all the places, all the ways, because what will happen when you go into hiring any sales employee or whoever it may be in the marketing or something, they needs to verify the firm legacy first, and what is the working culture in the industry, and how they are having the employees and their they treat as a family and many other things to be pre-checked before going into hire any employee as well as the firm. It is a mutual understanding. It's not like easily we can hire and fire the people. We need both firm as well as the employee should understand the logic between the relationship between the firm and employee. That is very important. In this one, we can say in UAE, in last more than a decade, I only have worked with only 2 firms. Both are regulated, 5 years. If I'm thinking about for the money or some other benefits, I can jump every year to new broker with the non-regulated space, and I can but it will in the broking industry and in the financial industry, the another aspect was transparency and trust. When you are dealing, especially in the sales, we are dealing directly with the clients. We need to each and every salesperson or a firm employee should have a personal face value with their clients. Then only it is possible to sustain in the industry, as well as it will help to grow more and more. And from my side, I'm always picking the candidates in the same way with doing many background checks and understanding. See, business will come today and it will go tomorrow. But you need to encourage and you need to allow your employees to understand the business model and cycle, and you need to give the space and time for them to reach their targets. It's not like I'm hiring tomorrow, you are having already 10 years or 20 years experience in this industry, you need to bring millions in next day. It's not like that. You need to give the space for the employees to understand your business model, which type of business he needs to bring in, and this will be helpful for the organization. All the aspects are there. This is like it's a psychology and it's a culture based thing. If you understand this one, all will be very good in this sales as well as marketing or anything.
Thank you, Anand. And Damian, Anand just touched on a point here in the Middle East that many clients would like to meet the salesperson in person or see the office of the brokerage firm physically. Meanwhile, we are, I think, living in a digital world now, and this space is just very fast. So, how do you balance between innovation at Saxo Bank and keeping this personal touch? Or at Saxo Bank, maybe you don't need it. I don't know.
It's an interesting question, Hussein. At Saxo, we're a digital delivery mechanism, right? We connect with our clients through our platforms. For the vast majority of them, that's how they deal with us on a day-to-day basis. We do have what we call, so that's a digital outreach. We do have what we call human to digital. So for our private clients, for example, we have different segments within Saxo. So we have our classic, our entry-level clients. We have our platinum clients who are making their way through our products and services. And then we have our VIP clients. For our VIP clients, we have relationship managers. So whilst we may connect with them in the majority of time via calls, Teams calls, video calls, etc., they do have a designated relationship manager. Now, those relationship managers, again, if I look at the industry, your relationship manager is there to add value. So I've seen firms where an RM maybe will cover 400 to 500 clients. Now, personally, I question how much value you can give to a VIP client if you're covering 400 to 500 people. So we're quite consistent in respect of how large our RM portfolios can become, and it's a lot lower than that, I can tell you. So for our higher value clients, we do provide that human touch, which is relationship managers. On the institutional side, that's very much human driven, because that's a completely different sales cycle. It's a completely different relationship when you're talking about institutional partners. The sales cycle is a lot longer. Technically, it's generally more complex. There's a lot more into putting together the structure of the operating model with the partners. So that is led by Nick, who's in the crowd, and our institutional team. That's a very different type of relationship that we run. And traditionally, we'll run that human first. And then once we educate our clients on how to do business with us via our platform, then that will go more digital as we go through. So it's a combination. It's a combination. I think one point that was interesting that Anand made is around the trust side of things. And I think the trust side of things is important not only to clients, but it should also be important to employees. Anand quite rightly pointed out that if you've worked in the unregulated market, a key motivation is probably financial. And people can make some very good financial gains in an unregulated marketplace. But then there's a question of how portable you are and how attractive you are if you want to move from that unregulated marketplace into a regulated marketplace, because it's a very different mindset. So for us, when we're looking at candidates, when we're looking at hiring, we spend a lot of time about whether those candidates are a cultural fit with what we do at Saxo, because we have quite a unique operating model, and we go through 4, 5, 6 stages of an interview process to make sure not only that the candidate is right for us, but we are right for the candidate as well, because it's a long-term investment we're making, and we do spend a lot of time developing our people. So I think what we've seen, and going back to your other question about to Khaldun about talent pool, undoubtedly we've seen an increase in the talent pool, not only in size, but in terms of quality. So as the UAE has grown and people have come into the UAE, the talent pool has grown as well. But it's still a challenge to get the right people, and they have to be a right fit for your people, and they have to be a right fit for your business model as well. And that we don't always get that right. I'm sure you guys don't always get that right, but we're trying to improve on that time and time again.
Awesome. Do I have any questions from the audience here? If you do, just raise your hand and we will give you the mic. Okay, I'm gonna keep this conversation and then I'm gonna get back to you. So if you have anything, just note it down. Khaldun, let's talk about the years to come now. We've seen the transformation of the UAE and being at the center of brokerage firms here for the Middle East. Where do we see it 3 or 5 years from now?
Very good question, Hussein. I think they've done a really good job. I just want to have a small comment about, the clients, what Damon mentioned. Middle Eastern clients totally different than European clients or American clients. I had an experience with a Swiss bank for over 8 years, and we know that where the client, when they come to us, they know what type of product they want. And they have their own due diligence, they know everything. Here is totally different story. They have to shake hands, they have to see the office, they have to understand that you are regulated. And I think ISCA is doing a very good job here, or the central bank as well for banks and other firms, in order for them to say, we protect you, we are here, don't worry about it. Whatever happens, those guys are regulated, we are monitoring everything, and this is very important. And we want to have the client thinking like the European or the American client, or whatever the client is, in a different world, after 3 years, after 5 years. And this is what we want. We want to educate the client to know their rights, and know that we are here to support. And all the licenses that we have is for the client to feel safe and for us also to feel safe. You know what I mean? So this is where we want to be in the next 3 years, 5 years. I think UAE is doing a great job. I think that we are heading to the right direction. And maybe in 5 years' time, we will have more type of licenses that we can provide to other firms, different products maybe in the future, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to discuss about what are we expected to see in the next several years. Anand, also to you, same question. So where do you see the industry growing in the next several years?
See, if you go in 2000 and 2000, and every 1 decade, FCA or UK or Europe zone and US, these are all developing. Now, last 10 decade was Singapore and Tokyo and all the places. Now, next, I'm seeing this decade, maybe up to 2030, Middle East will be the number one, and it will give the best results, because we are seeing, there is 2 things are there. One thing was, you need to adopt and upgrade everything as per the global standards. So this adoption and technology wise and upgrades wise, everything is happening in Middle East, especially in UAE and Saudi Arabia, all the places in advanced stage. This will help the economy as well as the people and citizens who are in the Middle East region will have a potential growth in their personal lives as well as the country-wise.
All right. Damian, I have a question from you. I'm very curious about it. I remember when I started in the industry, like more than 20 years ago, I used to see a lot of interest in leverage products, FX, commodities, indices, but mainly leverage products. And then I saw this shift into digital currencies, cryptos. And then I saw a shift towards equities, especially US equities. So where do you see the trends now happening?
We actually made a pretty detailed study of our clients last year. What's interesting is our clients, I'll talk about the direct space, the retail client space. Our clients range from what we call buy and hold investors, who are people who are just brand new to the industry, who are building their wealth, who don't have a lot of knowledge, who are probably buying some US equities or they're buying some mutual funds just to dip their toe into the water.
And this is where you have your own portfolios as well that you manage at Saxo, I believe?
We have some external advisory portfolios. We don't actually do any asset management from our side.
Right.
So we have, let's call them relatively unsophisticated clients who are beginning their investment journey and their investment education. On the flip side of that, we have some professional traders whose sole job and interest in life is trading 1 or 2 asset classes and trading them in great detail and great depth with great technicals, with leverage, etc. So it's their passion. But what's interesting about all of those personas is that they all have US equities in particular as a foundation to their portfolio, which is really interesting. So off the back of that, we actually yesterday announced the global pricing campaign, so we've lowered our costs, because what we're looking to do is bring more people into Saxo, using the US equities or the equity play as the headline, and then clients will find where they fit naturally within our environment, okay? So what they do with us. So again, we have many different types of clients. What we're looking to do, and you asked a question about the future and how we see the future. So what we try and do is we try and look at, and this is using AI tools, it's using our data mechanics who crunch these numbers. What we're really looking to do is tailor information, insights to our clients based on their client profile. And a lot of that is AI driven, and that will continue going forward, so that when we deliver updates, information, news to our clients via our platform, it's relevant, and it's relevant to that type of person. Hussein, you might be a very different investor from Khaldoon, for example. So we place a lot of resource within that, and it's paying dividends for us, and we'll continue to do that going forward. So from our perspective, in terms of future, yes, there will be some new product launches. You mentioned crypto. Interestingly, last week when the SEC approved the 11 Bitcoin ETF trusts, we launched it on Thursday afternoon at market opening, and we had a tremendous amount of people place positions into those. But again, that's about being timely and relevant, because if we were not organized to get ourselves ready for that, then we could have missed a market opportunity. So it's really about being close to the marketplace. It's about knowing your clients, it's about knowing what your client preference is, using AI as a tool to do that, and then being timely and relevant with your clients to activate them and make them engaged.
That's awesome, Damian. Any questions? All right, I'll keep going then. Anand, so what Damian touched on, the AI and how now news is being tailored to clients. I also have a question for traders here in the region. Do you see them shifting more towards, and this is the same to you, Khaldun, as well, working with Arabs a lot as well, shifting towards more into investing long term, or is it still they want to trade more of leveraged products, they want to go all in? How do you see the mentality now in trading?
Actually, after pandemic, most of the investors, they are looking for leveraged products to earn in a shorter term. They are not seeing anything in a longer perspective. This is what I'm saying, from where I'm saying I experienced while sitting with the direct clients, because they are thinking for very short term, like 1 year, 2 year. They are working on in this way only. And they are now, because now social medias or Google or whatever it may be, now it's giving lots and lots of open information. The knowledge sharing is very high after pandemic in all the places. So it helps the investors to learn in a better way where they need to go with that one. And nowadays the clients are doing a proper diversification. And once they are doing it in a short term, after this one, they are moving for the long term. So their diversification also works in very well, and mostly people in brokerage industry, especially in UAE, they are highly thinking about for the CFDs and leverage products only. This is the reason, one of the key reasons. Most of the Taiwan or prime-to-prime brokers are having a close eye on UAE with the new license and all, because this helps them to capture some market share in that one.
All right, Khaldun?
I think, Hussein, it's all about the amount of leverage that the clients are using. I've realized for the past more than 15 to 20 years in this region, clients used to have a big amount with the high leverage products, and they would like to trade, and in some cases we've seen crazy numbers going down, and we try to educate them, explain to them what they have to do, and in some cases we ask them to close their accounts, because this we cannot accept. Nowadays, let's say 10 years ago till today, is getting much better, where the clients start to understand that they can put a big amount where they can trade and take care and be careful and maybe follow an advisor and advice of someone that has an experience that they can tell them, to slow down. But they will always have this small amount where they would like to have, to trade and try, take this risk and see if they can get double this amount or not in 1 day or 2 days. So having said that, it's getting much better. I've seen that they are changing. They are going to the right direction, I would say. I think it comes with the education, and in some cases now we've seen also the clients that are 25 and 30 years old are thinking the right way at this moment, like a 50 plus and 60 years old. So it is really getting interesting. It's not like before. 20 years ago, it wasn't like this. But now it's getting much better. Yeah.
All right, Khaldun, let me stay with you to finish this. And this question to three of you. So today, if we have the ESCA, the FSA, ADGM, all in this room, what would you request? What do you need probably to change? What added value that you need from regulators? So what is it?
I think it depends what you are looking for, because you can use a DGM if you need to. If you want to be in Abu Dhabi and you don't need to have a big operation there, or the FSA or ESCA, I would go for ESCA because it opens up all UAE. You can be wherever you want, and you can have a bank account, and you can do so many other things as well.
Don't you think that they might add more restrictions on the brokerage?
Definitely. I think it comes by time. They will understand where they have to, they can open up a little bit and they can be strict in other places, but that's fine. I mean, we've seen FCA, we've seen FINMA in Switzerland. I think ESCA, they have already, I think they've done already 10 years plus 15 years, more than that we expected. I think they have a good advisors, probably from UK or Switzerland or somewhere else. But it's getting better and better day after day. Even the request that they're requesting the brokers now, every 3 months, every 1 month, every 6 months, this wasn't before. I had the chance to regulate a broker in Jordan. It was different, and that was 3-4 years ago. And probably it was the first or the second broker that had the license from Jordan there. It was different. Jordanian government requested something different. And I think ESCA, they took a little bit from everywhere, where they just to fulfill their needs and requirements and to protect the clients eventually. Is it getting more strict in the future? Yes, it will, definitely. Yeah, we can see that.
Anand?
Yeah, from my side, I can say regulators can do more campaigns on investor guidance and financial literacy to move the people or clients to the right regulated space.
Damian, we'll end it with you.
Okay, I have a slightly different answer. In terms of what do we need the regulators to do, my answer would be precisely what they've done in the last 18 months. So if we look at a macro level, the UAE unfortunately went on the FATF grey list in 2021. Okay, and then they went on the EU third country grey list in 2022. Now, as an EU regulated bank, that provides problems to us and challenges in terms of due diligence and onboarding clients, etc. But I think what we've seen as a response with the creation of the UAE FIU, and what we've seen is the regulators going out there and placing more fines and dealing with firms. Anand talked about earlier about the unregulated side of the marketplace here. I think what I look for regulators to do is exactly what the UAE has done in the last 18 months. Because if we're to continue to grow to become a top 10 global financial center in terms of recognition, we have to work to best market practices. And we have to ensure that for the protection of the public and all of our clients, that those brokers that are not working within regulatory boundaries are not working in this country. Because longer term, the medium to longer term future of the ecosystem and the industry here is that we are absolutely working at global standards. And I think we've seen that in the last 18 months. I applaud it, and I think we need to continue that going forward.
I think what was interesting, Damian, in the last 18 months, the amount of capital also that came to this country, it's just grown up incredibly. Something we've never seen before, probably in any other country. So Damian, Anand, and Khaldun, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Round of applause.
Thank you.